What's up, squad? It's your Squid, aka the Anxious Squid, here at Anxious Squid Productions. You can probably already tell what the video's about by the title and the thumbnail, but these guys are my patrons. Please consider becoming a patron. Today's the first of the month, so it's the best value for patrons in general, because you're not going to get charged twice or whatever and all that jazz for the month, so everything's all good in that sense. But this video in particular was requested by one of my patrons, Kevin. Shout out to Kevin. And yeah, I'm going to get into it. It's going to be a two-parter because the video goes for 40 minutes, but all I know about it is that it's titled the 2011 Daytona 500. So the last video he recommended was the last game of the MLB regular season in 2011. And now this is the Daytona 500 from 2011. So if you know what happened at the 2011 Daytona 500, you already know more than I do. Let's get straight into it. Thanks for clicking the title or the thumbnail, whichever it was that got you here, guys. I'm going to have to set a timer on my phone, and I forgot to do that while the title was going just now. While you were watching my title, I was supposed to have done that. So bear with me while I get my clock out. And that's clock with an L, don't worry. And let's reset the timer. Boom, let's do this, shall we? 2011 Daytona 500. It's a hell of an intro. Early 2000s, by the sounds of it. It's not, it's 2011, but 2000, like my childhood had sport like that, like coming in with a big fucking. It's
always a great anticipation coming into Daytona because everybody can win 500.
Every time we go to Daytona, we know it's big and it's special.
I like that flag.
And there's a feeling as soon as you drive through the infield tunnel and you see Daytona, no matter how many times you've been there, you still get that feeling.
I think there was a special meaning going back there for a lot of reasons. The 10th anniversary of losing Dale Earnhardt. And I think the big anticipation was, to me, it didn't feel any different than year 1, year 4, year 6. But obviously we know 10 is a significant number.
It is. 10 is a significant number.
On the pre-race show, we'll talk to a lot of drivers. We want people to get ready for the race. But on the pace laps before, Darrell Waltrip always chats live with somebody, and we were debating, should we go historical reference? Should we try to, let's put the Trevor Bayne kid. He's come on strong. He's got a great personality. America should get to know this guy.
Nice.
What's happening, Tracy? Hey! How's your cue? I'm just a normal kid. I still hang out with my friends in Knoxville and in North Carolina. I mean, I go out wakeboard, snowboard, play guitar, all that stuff, and kayak. I just like to be challenged all the time.
Nice.
I'm not somebody that likes to just sit around the house and watch TV. You'll never catch me doing that. I'm always out just...
Oh, why haven't I heard of this kid? Is he going to die?
Yeah, how are y'all doing? I already signed it out, and look at that.
Oh, now I feel bad.
It was about 8 races to go, I think, in the Nationwide Series. When I wasn't going to have a ride for 2011, in that, they said, hey, we'll run you at Texas in the Wood Brothers car to get clearance to maybe run Daytona, possibly if we have an open car or we can run a 15 or whatever. And so the Wood Brothers were also enough to let me get in their car and take it out, and we had a really good day. Everything just went really smooth. And they're like, hey, maybe we should throw you in our car for next year.
20th driver to run the 500 for the Wood Brothers. Keep an eye on this man who turned 20 yesterday.
Wow, young.
I love the road trips. So right before Daytona, I was like, man,
He was 20 in 2011, which means he would be 29 now, which is not fucking old, which means he would still be in the Cup Series, which means he's probably dead, which means I'm about to be sad, which means, But anyway, let's keep watching. Hopefully it doesn't mean any of that, and I'm just fucking going on a wild goose chase in my mind.
Down, take my time. The plane actually left like an hour after I did, so they beat me there by like 4 hours. But I just like to take it all in, just kind of calm down and get ready for what's going to be ahead.
I remember when Trevor, as a development driver for DEI, went up to Thompson, Connecticut, very fast 5/8 mile oval, and won a race in what's now the K&N East Series.
Nice.
Very poised, very confident.
10,000. That's nothing to sniff at.
Racing.
The first time I really noticed Trevor Bayne was last year at Talladega in a nationwide qualifying session where he had run...
Bright car, too.
Speaking of a new face, but he's in an old car who knows his way to victory lane. The 21 of the Wood brothers, Trevor Bayne behind the wheel this year. And they're excited about this young man driving the car.
He was down there for the test, and I think we all saw then that he had a pretty fast race car. But where I think his credibility really ramped up was when Jeff Gordon...
I think De Benedetto's in the 21 now. I could be wrong, though.
And Jeff knew that he had a fast race car to basically draft with him the entire Gatorade Dual race.
I was starting on the front row. Didn't have any teammates in my race. Trevor had a fast race car, was starting on the outside of me. And I went to Trevor and said, hey, you know, you're starting on the outside of me. I know you got a fast race car. You know, you want to get together? He's like, yeah, sure, sounds good. That was really cool, man. I didn't know who I was going to work with, you know. I was pretty worried. Right before the intros on the stage, I was like, man, I still don't have a drafting buddy, you know. I guess I'll just drop back and see who I can find along the way. And then Jeff...
And then
hey,
Jeff Gordon.
With you, you know, so
nice.
It was a no-brainer, and it was really cool for him to do that.
The cars roll off the grid in front of a packed house for the 53rd annual Daytona 500. The skies are petty blue.
That's cool.
43 begins to form up.
Before the race started, they said, who do you want to talk to? I said, I want to talk to the kid in the 21 car on the radio, two-way. And so I tuned the radio in before they were in the cars getting ready to roll off. And I tuned in just in time to hear Trevor say,
God, thank you for this opportunity to be here and drive these race cars, Lord. Thank you for the platform you've given all of us to be on. Let's pray we'll glorify you with everything we do because you're the reason we're here.
The perfect prayer before you roll off to run the biggest race of your life. Trevor Bayne,
nice.
At Fox Sports, you got a copy there, young man?
Sir, I do. How are you guys doing today?
We're really doing well. That was a really nice prayer. I really like that. You're driving the famous 21 car. What's your game plan for today?
I understand this is my first 500 and I have a lot to learn, but I tell you, man, this fast race car has done me a lot of justice so far these speed week. These guys, everybody on this Wood Brothers crew has just provided me an awesome race car that I think it has the capabilities of running up front. You know, it's just finding that buddy to work with, which I think we've built a lot of those relationships this week, and I've got a lot of good support, man. So we're
knows what he's talking about too. Humble.
Really impacted me that this young man, 20 years old, is that composed. I would have been a nervous wreck. I'd have been saying, don't anybody talk to me. Leave me alone. I don't want to hear anything. But not him.
You boys have a good one in there, man. Long day. Looking forward to it.
Dirt, Brad, just check in, man. Make sure my radio works. Hopefully I'll see you out there. 10-4, Brad. Hey, Trevor. David here. You got me?
Yes, sir.
If I can help you any today, I'll do my best.
All right, thanks here, man.
This is going to sound really weird, but I hope he just sucks. Like, I know, like, I can't get it out of my mind that I've never heard of this guy before, and he's not in the Cup Series, so he's obviously, like, I just hope he was shit. That's all I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like...
I got no radios with anybody else.
Oh, what a surprise! Kyle Busch, even in 2011, being a salty motherfucker.
I got no radios with anybody else. I have to be on your channel to hear you talk, or I got to be on Danny's radio to hear Danny talk. I can't hear four voices at once, so we screwed that up. Can't thank you enough for all your hard work. So on off-season, sports front off.
Is Jimmy again?
It's been a real good experience.
Junior's still racing?
Let's be consistent all day, and we'll be there at the end.
When did he retire?
Let's go racing, boys!
Lap 5, alright.
The middle, clear the middle, clear the middle.
Spotters all over the place, radio frequencies abuzz.
Name me another sport where you communicate strategy with the guy you're trying to beat.
The biggest number I heard was 20. One driver could talk to 20 other drivers.
Michael Waltrip in the 15 car, Kyle Busch in the 18, a couple of Toyotas getting a pretty good run.
That's insane.
Just tell me which way you want to go, bud. I will. Right now we're not gaining much here.
Teammates working together. See him working the throttle a little bit, man. Biffle had to get out of the gas there for a second.
It's really important to be paired up in the 500. You had to have someone pushing you. You had to have somebody that you trusted.
I think Jeff Gordon maybe he's drifted back in there to find Trevor Bayne in the 21 car.
Is he going to be on the radio? Yes, sir. Well, here we are again.
I I've known Trevor a little bit, met him a couple times. Really good kid. Seems to have a good head on his shoulder. So to me, you know, it wasn't that big of a risk. As long as he had a fast race car, then I was happy, and he did.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, bud. We're fast, man. You're doing great, man.
And that was pretty neat, man. We had a good time with it, and you know, it was cool working together.
That's cool. Makes me like Jeff Gordon more as well. Oh no! Kyle Busch getting wrecked. You hate to see it. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Kyle was going to go down and get behind the 5, and Michael wasn't. And that's some of that can't see stuff.
Just go tell Michael he didn't do anything wrong, but when they're 3 wide like that and there's nowhere to go, you just got to disengage.
It used to be we would go to Daytona and you would have to...
That was actually very mature and well reasoned of him.
It now became how drivers worked with their partner, worked on the swap and the exchange.
The one of Jamie McMurray making the swap with Paulo Montoya.
That was pretty cool. That was great. That's been a big issue down here, trying to be able to push a guy in front of you.
Fucking how's the technique to it?
And not cook your engine.
FedEx and UPS side by side.
I was being pushed by Trevor. The 29 blew an engine.
Right in front of us, man. Right in front of us is a blown engine.
A lot of smoke. You know, you can't just snap out of the gas because it can turn you.
Whack.
We got in the back of the 7 pretty hard.
Bobby Gordon was trying to get out of the way of the smoke, and I just couldn't slow down fast enough. Boom, got in the back of him and tore us up where we had to go to the back. So me and Trevor kind of split up. He went up there and he was doing his thing, and I was in the back.
He's 21 now. He's P20. Yes. Take a little to get him.
Well, that's a sick feeling right there, man.
Yep, the 2007 winner, Kevin Harvick.
20 laps into the Daytona 500.
He looks younger there, doesn't he?
You never blow motors. What happened today?
Yeah, I mean, just it's they're suspecting a broken block or a broken head. Didn't do anything different than what I had been doing. We had just a 10-15 more degree oil temp than what we had been, and I pulled out from behind the 17 when I felt like I got to the point where I needed to pull out.
Yeah, fair enough. Sometimes the engine just shits itself.
Affected by a number of things, Jeff Hammond, including heat and cooling.
Bit of bump and grind.
Seeker Cam points that out very well.
A great illustration of the Ford car being pushed by
Have a look at the heat.
Joe Logano, and as they come.
I love that scale. Like, there's not even a cold on the scale. There's warm, hot, hotter, and yikes. Like, that's dope.
We stop right here. If you look on the front of the Ford car, that little orange area indicates it's cooler than what the back car of Joey Logano is, which is all white. So, Chris, again, the car out front is a lot cooler than the car in the rear. Anytime you're...
That's good analysis. Good analysis.
You're going to get hotter, and that's where some of the guys have had problems with engines today because of that.
That 88 car, Larry, he just keeps inching closer to the lead, and we will know, without a doubt, when he takes it.
Junior Nation will let us know.
Oh, yeah.
Big wreck behind you. Big wreck behind you there.
Oh.
Clean out a bunch of cars. Right in front of us. Check it up.
Is that going to bring Jeff and Trev next to each other again, though?
David Rubin, Mike Waltrip, Big wreck. Half the field.
Alright, I'm starting to think maybe he doesn't die, which is good.
Tracy is going to be high today, buddy. Real high. Man, yeah. Boy, it's a mess back here. Good job. Come on, you're clear to go up. I knew that was going to happen. That wasn't working.
Biffle. What a name.
They split right in front of us. Split right in damn front of us.
Michael just got into the back of the... Tony Stewart did the same thing to Michael in the Bud shootout. Got into him pretty hard and turned him around right there.
And there's nothing else you can do at that point. Just stop crying.
About racing, you can't live in the what if. The what if is they all wrecked in the 29th lap and took out a lot of good race cars, and it changed probably changed the race itself and maybe even the outcome. Who knows? Look at that, 300 cars, 24, 48, and 5 all slamming into each other.
Rough.
Well, now I wish I would have gotten high. That's for sure. We're going to get right through that thing on the bottom.
About now I would have wished I got high. Sounds like a man after my own heart.
Damage badge it, Jimmy. Yeah, I got it.
I know that's not what he meant, but...
Oh, that's right. We're leaving drive it around. Just bring her down here to the garage and we'll get her fixed up nice and safe.
Jeff Gordon is in the garage.
Jeff, I know you've assessed all four corners of your race car. Discuss the damage.
Well, it doesn't really matter at this point. Our chances of winning the Daytona 500 are over. That's the disappointing part.
But can you get back out and help old mate?
Players, it's going to change the complexity of the race. Jimmy Johnson once again knocked out. That seems to be perpetually his fate since winning in 2006. Johnson's had terrible finishes in the Daytona 500.
It takes competitive race cars that appear that they're going to be a contender.
Yeah.
It takes them out of the equation. I don't think it dilutes who wins the race.
That crash took the wind out of our sails for a bit. And then we realized we still had a lot of good cars capable of winning the race. One of them was going to. So we got back up on the wheel and got with the action. And there just wasn't quite as many as there were a while ago.
Yeah, that's it. Less packed field. At 35 now.
As we go back to green,
I'm glued to it. This is good. Thank you for suggesting it.
When you are the car pushing, you can't see anything. It's just like you're driving down the interstate pushing a semi. You really can't see where you're going. You just hope that he steers you the right way. You have to be more focused than ever, listening to the spotters and really paying attention.
The spotter chatter was pretty frenetic. We're hearing that the spotter stand is like the trading floor on the New York Stock Exchange.
That's dope.
Deal making going on.
Gonna switch it to number one right now. They broke apart on the top. 78 still pushing. One outside. Outside. Both lanes there. 22 side. And you're still going 22 is straight out.
On the spotter for our UPS team, wore out a battery. I wore out a couple of batteries on our radios.
You're all clear. You're all clear. Got a big shove coming underneath. Single pod is 3 back. 10 back to another single pod. 5 back to a group of pods. Like tadpoles.
I don't think the spotter ever.
Look how young he looks.
Off the button.
The radio chatter is wild. The spotters are trying to be matchmakers while still trying to keep their drivers out of harm's way. And then the drivers started talking to each other beyond their teammates.
If I'm scanning Dale Earnhardt Jr., you hear his spotter, TJ, you hear him, or you hear his crew chief, Steve Letarte. You're not used to hearing other drivers or other drivers' spotters.
Hey, AJ, David Reagan here. You got me? Yeah, I got you, man. Oh, there you. I got you. All right, I'm going to be with you on the start here. I'll be right with you wherever you go. I'll switch on over. Got me, AJ? Got you.
I don't think anyone anticipated that this was going to be happening.
You never quite knew who you were listening to. You could look at your scanner and you could see a name on the scanner, but you weren't necessarily sure of who it was.
That's cool.
That's all it is, buddy. Find somebody that'll help you, and you don't care who it is. You have no enemies right now. Everybody's your friend, and you want to keep it that way until the end.
I understand Neil's theory of co-opetition, where you cooperate with your competition.
Co-opetition.
This just took it to a whole other level. I'm going here. You want to go here? You want to go with me? You want to go with them?
It's cool working together. Like, you know, saying which way you're going to go and just, you know, tell them to back up to you, or, you know, if you're the lead car, they'd talk to you about it.
Get in front of me, back forward. I think faster than yours. I can push you up. We'll drop back and hook up. Oh, stay on your radio. Here I go. I'm coming high. Still inside. Clear. He's going to get right back in behind you.
We listened to some of that radio communication during the broadcast, and after about 15 to 20 seconds, I had a headache. It was like listening to air traffic control.
I've never talked that much on a radio before.
Let's take it easy for a second. We're catching about 10 cars in front of us. Damn, that 21 been pushed.
That's nice.
The guy running in second, the pusher, he's got to get some air into his radiator after several laps, or he'll melt the engine down. So that's why you need to talk to the guy you're running with. That's been the big issue down here, trying to be able to push the guy in front of you for long periods of time and not cook your engine.
That's what they were showing with the heat map earlier.
Blowing up. It sounds like ignition, to be honest. We're done.
It's almost like the kiss of death for the 2011 Daytona 500 was being the chase in 2010. Almost all of the 12 guys have had a problem of some type of another.
Almost all the playoff guys line up for a rookie. Let's go. My gut feel has gone from dead to winner. Hopefully he wins now.
Hold on to it there.
Paulo Montoya has spun off turn 4 to put us under caution for the 8th time today. He didn't hit it.
Surprised he didn't hit a jet dryer.
Pit road.
It just got to be right on the corner. No damage. No damage. We just need tires here. Come on, you got me? Yeah, don't worry about it. So I took my nose down to the left side to get some air on it. First time I've done it, and I obviously spun you out, so sorry about that. Don't worry about it. No big deal. Yeah, you didn't hit anything. Let's talk about our deal. We'll talk to him later.
Yep, fair enough.
We're pitching this time. Gotta take the raver. Jack the right side up, take the raver off.
Juan and I had 4 or 5 meetings leading up to the 500 about our plan and that we were just going to work together all day.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop, perfect, stop.
Someone lost the draft or had a bad pit stop, we were going to wait on him.
About to find us a partner. Find somebody. He'll make it, won't he? No. If we do that, are we waiting on him or not? Find a partner. All right, 10-4, we just got to get going here.
I don't think either one of us anticipated one falling back a half a lap.
This is starting to look like a middle school dance. Would you draft with me on the restart? Oh no, I already promised him. Let's crank it up.
Oh, listen, I love that sound. That's dope. Again, very mature. I like it. Reasonable. Chilled out.
Kyle, I gotta go back and get one on me. We had a deal earlier, okay? So yeah, 10-4, go ahead.
Huh. There you go.
Feeling to do that, but that was our plan, and that was what our meetings were about, and we just stuck to our plan.
The one car is coming back to get us here. The one car is made it back to come get us. Here's the one right up here. Perfect.
Nice.
Once we do, we're there, you know? Yeah, 10-4.
All right, we're gonna lap 110. It's about halfway through. We're gonna cut it off there. This is part 1. That was part 1 done. And there, yep, there we go. Shut up. Shut it. There we go. That was my timer saying, hey, cut the video off. But yeah, we'll go into a part 2. We'll dive straight into it. As I said at the start, these guys are my patrons. This video was suggested by Kevin. He's a Cthulhu tier patron, but anyone from a Humboldt tier upwards gets guaranteed reactions, or at least one guaranteed reaction if you're on that tier. And yeah, this has been good so far. The last recommendation I watched was dope as well. It's all wins. So join my Patreon. Today's the 1st of the month. It'll, you know, it's the most valuable time for you to join. Join today, suggest me something, I'll watch it within the next week or 2 max. It'll be guaranteed that I will react to your suggestion. Join my Patreon, that'd be sick. Failing that, just join it for $1, you get a sticker and you get access to the music streams that'll be starting during the week. So yeah, there's nothing really to lose. You should give me some of your money. That would be great via Patreon. But let's just get straight into part 2.